notation. Subtopic, write down. Scientific notation. This scientific notation important for your also the upper classes, right? Because you have to study about logarithms, right? Another lesson, logarithms. This scientific notation important for the logarithm parts also, right? So scientific notation mean very important part, right? Now look at this number. Right. Can you see what is this number? What is the number? 3257. Is it a whole number or decimal number or fraction or which type? It is a whole number, no? Right. Where can you see the decimal point of this number?
At the end of the number.
Can you see the decimal point? No. But you remember, any whole number, end of the number, there is a decimal point, right? So where is the decimal point of this number? Here, right? මෙතන තමයි මේකේ decimal point එක තියෙන්නේ. හරිද? අපි දැන් සාමාන්‍ය whole numbers වල decimal point තියන්නේ නැහැ අන්තිමට. ඒ උනාට අග තියෙනවා decimal point එක. Right? Scientific notation mean this is the general form of this number. Scientific notation mean very easy. You look at carefully the screen, right? Scientific notation mean you have to keep the decimal point after the first digit of the number except 0, right? 0 හැර මුලින්ම තියෙන digit එකට පිටිපස්සෙන් අපි decimal point එක තියන්න ඕනේ. So where you have to keep the decimal point? What is the first digit of this number? 3. So after 3 you have to keep the decimal point, and also the remaining digits you have to write after that. Okay, then you remember also you have to multiply this number by power of a 10 to the power. Now you check the first given number, general form, the decimal point where you can see end of 7, no, right? After the 7, end of the number, that means here, but I kept the decimal point this position. Then you check which direction you have to go to get the initial number. අපතර මුලින්ම දීපු number එක ගන්න නම් මේ decimal point එක අපි කොහෙටද ගෙනියන්න ඕනේ? Which direction? Your right hand direction. Right hand direction mean which side? Positive or negative? Positive direction. Okay, how many places you have to go to get the initial number? 1, 2, 3. So what is the index of this power? 10 to the power positive 3. 10 to the power positive 3. Right? Can you get the idea? Look at another example. Second example. 51.8. It is the given number, general form. Now we have to write the scientific notation. Okay. How you can write the scientific notation? I told you, you have to keep the decimal point after the first digit of this number except 0. 0 හැර මුලින්ම තියෙන digit එකට පිටිපස්සෙන් අපි decimal point එක තියන්න ඕනේ. So where you have to keep the decimal point after 5, no? So what is the value? 5.18. Now I change this one, no? Then what you have to do? You have to multiply by 10 to the power which value? You check the initial number, given number, decimal point, you can see between 1 and 8. That means this position, no? To get the initial number, you have to go which direction? Right hand side, that means the positive direction. How many places you have to move? 1 place. So what is the index of this power? 10 to the power 1. Right? 10 to the power 1. Can you understand or not? Look at another example, third one. Right. Can you tell me, this is general form. When you write the scientific notation, how you can write this part where you have to keep the decimal point? You have to keep the decimal point where? Between 5 and 3. Then we have to multiply 10 to the power which value? How many places we have to move to which direction? Can you understand? Which direction you have to go to get the initial number? Positive or negative direction? Your right hand side no? හරි මේ මුලින් තියෙන නම්බර් එක ගන්නයි අපි යන්නේ දැන්. හරි දැන් මෙතන පොයින්ට් එක තියාගත්තා. මෙන්න මෙතනට එන්න ඕන පොයින්ට් එක නේද? අර ඉනිෂියල් නම්බර් එක ගන්න නම්. Right? So which direction you have to move? Your right hand direction. That means positive direction. How many places we have to move? මෙන්න මෙතනට එන්න ඕනේ. So how many places you have to move? 1, 2. So what is the index of the power? 10 to the power 2. Right? Every time you have to multiply by 10 to the power any index. Okay? Index එක අපි decide කරනවා මෙන්න මේ යන move වෙන points ප්‍රමාණයත් එක්ක. Right. Another example, look at 319. Who can give the answer of this one index form? Sorry, scientific notation. කාටද කියන්න පුළුවන් මේක scientific notation එක?
3.19.
3.19. 3.19 multiply 10 to the power, what is the index?
2.
2. Which 2? Positive 2 or negative 2?
Positive 2.
Positive 2, no? We have to get this decimal point after 9. That means 2 places we have to move to the positive direction. So when you write the scientific notation, you have to write 3.19 multiply 10 to the power 2. Right. Quickly write down these 4 examples. This form is known as the general form. This form is known as the scientific notation. Right. If you finish note down the first 4 examples, then another example I wrote here, 2800. 2800. Right. Then after you write this one, you try to write the scientific notation of this number. Right. Did you write the scientific notation of this number? How you can write?
2.800 times 10 to the power 3.
2.800. Also remember the decimal number if containing the zeros, right? End of the decimal number containing the zeros, you can write without zeros of this number, right? Also this 2.8 represent 2.80, 2.800, right? ඒකේ අර අග තියෙන zeros නැතුව අපිට decimal number එක ලියන්න පුළුවන්. ගැටලුවක් නැහැ. Right? So how you can write this one? 2.8. It is enough. Right? If you want, you can write 2.800. Multiply 10 to the power which value? I kept the decimal point here, no? But this one, the general form decimal point should be here. So to get the initial number, how many places you have to move? 1, 2, 3. Positive direction, 3 places, no? So what is the index? 10 to the power 3, right? 2.8 multiply 10 to the power 3. Right, then another number I wrote here, 97,343. You try to write the scientific notation of this number. Scientific notation of this number. Right, okay. Did you write scientific notation? First, you have to write what?
9.7343.
Yes, 9.7343 multiply 10 to the power. I kept the decimal point here, no? Then initial decimal point, this position. So how many places we have to move? 1, 2, 3, 4. Positive direction, 4 places. So 10 to the power 4. Right, okay? Right. Then next one, number 7. Seventh example, write down. Right. 2.18. Example number 7. 2.18. Where you have to keep the decimal point of this number, 2.18. This number, what is the first digit except 0? First digit is 2. So when you write the scientific notation, you have to keep the decimal point after the first digit except 0. 0 හැර මුල්ම digit එක පිටිපස්සෙන් decimal point එක තියන්න ඕන. Right? So where you have to keep the decimal point, after 2 you have to keep the decimal point, no? 2.18 multiply 10 to the power. To go to the initial number, how many places you have to move of this decimal point? Places කීයක් යන්න ඕනද අපි එහාට මෙහාට? How many places we have to move? තිබුණ තැනම නේද දැනුත් තියෙන්නේ? නේද? තිබුණු තැනමනේ දැනුත් තියෙන්නේ. එහෙනම් අපි වෙනසක් කරලාද? නෑ. How many places we have to move? 0 places. So you have to write here 10 to the power 0. Right? 10 to the power 0. If you don't change the decimal point, you have to write there are no places we have to move. No? So you have to write 10 to the power 0. Right. Number 8. 7. Next number is 7. Right. What is the first digit of this number? 7. No? 7. So you have to keep the decimal point after 7. So where you have to write the decimal point after 7. No? 7 point. Then there are no digits after 7. So, but you have to write the digit, at least one digit you have to write after the decimal point. So which digit you have to write here? 0. Right? මොකුත් නැත්නම් අපි අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම digit එකක් ලියවෙන්න ඕන decimal point එකට පස්සේ. එහෙනම් මොකුත් නැති හින්දා අපි එතන 0 කියලා දැම්මා. Right? Multiply 10 to the power. How many places we have to move to get the initial number?
0.
0 places, no? Right? 0 places. So what is the index of this number? 10 to the power 0. Right? 7 mean a whole number. So when you write the scientific notation of this one, 7.0 multiply 10 to the power 0. Right? 7.0 multiply 10 to the power 0. Now can you understand this scientific notation writing method? Also the negative indices part we have to discuss. Okay? මේ ටික තේරුණාද? බලමු තේරුණාද කියලා නේද? මම examples ටිකක් දෙන්නම් දැන්. Right. Next question. Write down number 9. 9th one write down. 58.7. 58.7. Next one 38,300. Number 11, 9. Next one 3.75. Next one 513.27. 513.27. Right. Then you try to write the correct answers for these 5 examples. Right. I finished note down the answers or still writing? Right. Vatma, can you tell me what is the answer of ninth one? 58.7. How we can write the scientific notation? Mahana answers then, right?
5.87.
Wait. 5.87 multiply 10 to the power
1.
1. We have to take the decimal point between 8 and 7, no? Then this position we have to take. That means one place you have to move to your positive direction. So the index of the power should be 10 to the power 1. Right. Next number, look at 38,300. Right. Can you tell me the answer of this question? Shioli, can you give the answer? Scientific notation.
3.83 multiplied by 10 to the power 4.
Yes. 3.83. Not need to write down 00 end of the decimal number. Okay. අර decimal number එකක් අග තියෙන zeros නොලියා තියන්න පුළුවන් ගැටලුවක් නෑ අපි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ලියන්නේ නැහැ. Multiply 10 to the power. I got the decimal point here. Then initial number. To get the initial number, we have to move 1, 2, 3, 4 places to your positive direction. So it should be 10 to the power 4. Right. Next one, 9. Nidushi, can you tell me the scientific notation of 9?
9.0 multiply 10 to the power 0.
Yes. 9.0 multiply 10 to the power 0. Right. 9 is the whole number. Also decimal point exists end of 9, right, after 9. So not need to change the decimal point, right? There are no places move. So 10 to the power 0. Right. Number 12, 3.75. Right. Dulni, can you tell me this one answer? 3.75.
3.75 multiply 10 to the power 0.
Right. 3.75 multiply 10 to the power 0. Right. Last one, look at 513.27. Tanuji, can you give the answer of this one?
5.1327 multiplied by 10 to the power 2.
Yes. 5.1327 multiplied by 10 to the power 2. Right. Two places we have to move to get the initial number, no? Right. Now all of you can understand this part, scientific notation writing method. Another part we have direct, right? Right. First part given 200. All there are 10 parts given. You have write scientific notation of these numbers, general form given. I told you when you write the scientific notation, you have to keep the decimal point after the first digit except 0 of the number. Then you have to multiply by 10 to the power suitable index, right? First one, look at 200. The first digit of this number is 2. So you have to keep the decimal point after 2. 2.00. Not need to write down 00, only 10 enough, right? Then you check, I kept the decimal point here, but initial number decimal point here. So we have to, we can get the initial number. How many places we have to move? 1, 2 places, positive direction. So the index of the power, 10 to the power 2. Right, 2.0 multiply 10 to the power 2. You can check your answers using a red color pen. Next one, look at the first digit of this number is 2. So 2.54 multiply. I kept the decimal point here. Then to get the initial number, we have to move 1, 2 places to your positive direction. So the power is 10 to the power 2. Third example, we have to keep the decimal point after 1, right? 1.01. The last zero not need to write down here, right? Multiply 10 to the power. I kept the decimal point here. To get the initial number, we have to move 1, 2, 3 places. Positive direction, 3 places. So 1.01 multiply 10 to the power 3. Right? Number 4, look at fourth part. We have to keep the decimal point between 5 and 2 after 5. So 5.29 multiply 10 to the power. To get the initial number, we have to move 1, 2, 3. Positive direction, 3 places. Next one, 7.43 multiply 10 to the power. 1, 2, 3, 4. 10 to the power 4. It is the fifth part answer. Right, then look at part number 6. We have to keep the decimal point after 3. So 3.4000. These last 4 zeros not need to write down because it is useless to write the zeros of the end of the decimal numbers, right? Multiply 10 to the power. How many places we have to move? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 10 to the power 5. Right? Then look at the next number. We have to keep the decimal point between 6 and 5. 6.5812 multiply 10 to the power 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 10 to the power 6. Right? Then next one, look at 7.34. The first digit of this number except 0, 7. So we have to keep the decimal point after 7. 7.34. Not need to change the decimal point, no? So how many places we have to move? 0 places. 10 to the power 0. Right? Next number given 18.5. We have to keep the decimal point after 1. 1.85. 1.85 multiply 10 to the power. How many places we have to move to get the initial number? 1 place, no? Positive direction, 1 place. So 10 to the power 1. Right? Last one. We have to keep the decimal point after 7. 7.158 multiply 10 to the power. How many places we have to move to get the initial number? 1, 2. 2 places, right hand direction, that means positive direction, 2 places. So the answer is 7.158 multiply 10 to the power 2. Right, it is the writing method. First example, look at 0.0035. Right, 0.0035. Can you tell me what is the first digit of this number except 0?
3.
3. හරි 0 හැර මුලින්ම තියෙන ඩිජිට් එක මොකක්ද? මුලින්ම තියෙන ඩිජිට් මොනවද වෙන්න පුළුවන්? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. හරි 0 හැර මුලින්ම තියෙන ඩිජිට් එක. What's the first digit? 3. So you have to keep the decimal point after 3. So what is the decimal number? 3.5. මේ ඉස්සරහා තියෙන zeros ලියන්න අවශ්‍ය නැහැ නේද? හරි එහෙනම් ඔන්න answer එක 3.5 multiply 10 to the power Now look at, I kept the decimal point after 3, no? That means this position. But if you want to get the initial number, how many places we have to move? Initial number decimal point here you can see, no? So how many places you have to move? 1, 2, 3. 3 places. Which direction you have to move? Your left hand side. That means negative direction. So what is the index of this power? Negative 3. Right? Negative 3. අන්න එතනදී මතක ඇතුව නෙගටිව් පැහැදිලිව දාන්න නෙගටිව් 3. Right? Second example, look at 0.0758. Right? Where you have to keep the decimal point. After the first digit except 0. What is the first digit? 7. So you have to keep the decimal point after 7. 7.58 multiply 10 to the power. I kept the decimal point here, but initial number decimal point here, no? To go to the initial number, we have to move 1, 2 places, negative direction. So what is the index? Negative 2. Right? Negative 2. Third example, 0.0009325. Right? Can you tell me what is the scientific notation where you have to keep the decimal point after the first digit? What is the first digit of this number except 0? 9. So you have to keep the decimal point after 9. That means between 9 and 3. So 9.325 multiply 10 to the power. I kept here. Then we have to move 1, 2, 3, 4. Negative direction 4 places. So negative 4. 10 to the power negative 4. Are you clear this part?
Yes, sir.
It is not difficult, no? හරි. කලින් වගේම තමයි මතක තියාගන්න අර 0 හැර මුල්ම ඩිජිට් එක පිටිපස්සෙන් තමයි අපි පොයින්ට් එක තියන්න ඕනේ. Right. Also write down these examples. Then also another few examples I will give. Try to write the answers for the next few examples. Right. Did you write the fourth and fifth one answer? Haida, what is the fourth one answer?
5.0 multiply 10 to the power minus 2.
Right, 5.0, no? After 5, you have to keep the decimal point, but there are no digits after 5, so you have to write 0, at least one digit you have to write after the decimal point when you write scientific notation. Multiply 10 to the power 1, 2. Negative direction 2 places, so minus 2. 10 to the power minus 2. Right, last one 0.0001. Can you give the answer of this one, Seya? What is the scientific notation?
1.0 multiply 10 to the power 4.
10 to the power
4.
4. 4 plus 4. Huh?
Minus 4.
Minus 4. Minus na minus kiyannone. Right.
Okay.
After 1, you have to keep the decimal point, no? 1.0 multiply 10 to the power 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 places, which direction? Your left hand side. Left hand side means negative direction, no? So negative 4. Right, it is the scientific notation writing method of any number, right? Any number scientific notation writing method. Now, both positive, negative, any numbers I discussed with you. The decimal point after the first digit except 0. So, what is the first digit of this number? 8. So, you have to keep the decimal point after 8. 8.0 multiply 10 to the power 1, 2, negative direction 2. So the index is negative 2. 8.0 multiply 10 to the power negative 2. Right? You can check your answers with red color pen. Right. Simple B 0.543. What is the first digit after first digit except 0? 5. So you have to keep the decimal point after 5. 5.43 multiply 10 to the power, how many places? 1 places, negative direction, negative 1. Next one 0.0004. We have to keep the decimal point after 4. 4.0 10 to the power negative, no, minus 1, 2, 3, 4. Minus 4. Simple D, look at the first digit except 0, 1. So you have to keep the decimal point between 1 and 9. 1.9 multiply 10 to the power 1, 2, 3. Negative direction 3 places, negative 3. 10 to the power negative 3. Next one, the first digit except 0 is 9. So you have to keep the decimal point between 9 and 5. 9.5 multiply 10 to the power. Look at how many places we have to move. 1, 2, 3, 4. Negative direction 4 places. Right? 10 to the power negative 4. Right. Next one. The first digit except 0 is 5. So you have to keep the decimal point after 5. That means between 5 and 4. 5.4 multiply 10 to the power. How many places we have to move? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Negative 8. Right. Now, all of you can understand about scientific notation writing method. What is the name of this form? What is the name of this form? Scientific notation. What is the name of this form? It is the general form. Right? Now I discuss with you how you can convert general form into scientific notation. Right? General form